Hey folks, today we're going to talk about the differences between importing a dbt project as a package and then using cross-project references in dbt Cloud to resolve a ref to another project. Now, I will show you a quick example. So I've got two different dbt projects, mesh upstream and mesh downstream. Mesh downstream is going to be importing mesh upstream as a package and also as a cross-project dependency, which you can see here is in the dependencies YAML file. So this is different from when I had it as a package. Now, the short of it is when you are importing a DBT project as a package, what happens? It is literally taking all the code that exists in this project and dumping it on this like this, right? So when you import another DBT project as a package in your root DBT package or project, what happens? DBT will basically copy paste, right? You can think of it as we are copy pasting this file from this other project into this project. Okay. Now, what happens with cross project references if you don't import as a package? Then this is a DBT Cloud specific thing. We are going to build our project or our model here, and DBT Cloud is going to store the reference to this foo, maybe something like foo, something like that. So DBT stored the fact that our full model was built into or built as an object called db.ssh.foo. And then this other DBT project, when it runs, DBT Cloud knows to intelligently swap out this ref into this. So it takes out this ref string and converts it into this string, right? So you can see there's a huge difference between importing DBT projects as packages and then using cross-project refs. Now we're going to see that in action. Again, I've got the downstream project. The first thing we'll do is we will import this other DBT project as a package. And then after that, we'll switch to the cross project references method and see how that materializes itself. So we'll switch to branch from package. And you see here, I've got the package specified. I'm going to do a dbt deps to install the package. We can see here there's some stuff about installing and all that stuff, which means dbt has basically copied this whole repo into this project itself. We can't see that particular folder, but I'm going to do a quick refresh and that should show that folder, I believe. There you go. So I've done a dbt deps, and what did I say before? We have literally brought in all the files, and it now exists on disk in this downstream dbt project. Okay. Now what happens here? If I do a dbt build, now what do we see happening? We have run this up A model into the downstream schema. We have built the B model, up B model into the downstream schema and so on. And then we did the down C model, right? Now, down C is the only model that exists in my models directory. But what did I say before? If you are using another DBT project as a package, it is as if you have just kind of copied this file and chucked it into the models directory, right? There is no difference from having something like this to then in our project, just creating another file called up a.sql and so on, right? So when we import a DBT project as a package, just think of it as we are copy pasting all of the other project's files into our DBT project, which is why when we do a DBT run or DBT build, we have done A, B, and C, right? A and B from the package, which exists on this now in my downstream project, and then down C from this project itself. Okay, now I'm going to switch over and do cross project references. But probably first thing I would do is I'm going to tidy it up, roll back to remote, so we can clean out the state of this project. Before I continue, if we want to use cross project references, there is a requirement, right? When I did packages, there is no requirement because it's as if you copied this and chucked it into your project, right? So there is no requirement to have jobs run or anything like that. Now, when you do cross project references, I said before, DBT is going to take this ref and figure out from the backend what to resolve that string to, right? So this calls for a different DBT project. You can see here I've got another project. I have got a job called upstream, and I have built all of these models already in that job, right? In my production environment. Okay. So now in my production environment, there exists two of those models called up A and up B. And those would be, let me see if I can see this. No, I can't see this. So if I just hop on over to Explore for a second, just to look at the model schemas, upstream project, two models, as I said, up B exists as upstream schema, up B. Okay, so switch back to my downstream project. Go back to my IDE. And I'm going to change my branch to the example that uses cross-project refs instead of packages. Okay. Now, when I do this via cross-project references, you can see that there's no need to specify the repository and stuff like that. However, you can see like all of this stuff still resolve automatically, right? We don't need to say, we don't need to do DBT. In fact, if we did DBT depths, you can see, we said no packages found, right? There's nothing to copy and paste locally, right? We don't do any of that stuff. We don't copy this into here, okay? Now, if you look at my down C model, actually, this packages folder showed up. You can see like it's basically empty. There's nothing here. If I refresh, let's see if there's any files. So you can see there's still no files, right? So this shows you that we didn't actually download all of these files into this DBT project itself. Now, when I do a DBT build here, using cross-project ref, now you see what happens now is significantly different to before, right? We are only building the one and only loan model, and this one and only loan model. This ref, upstream up B, has automatically resolved to upstream up B over here, right? And that's what I said here. When you're doing cross-project references, we are not taking these files and chuck it into this project. We are leaving this alone, and we are telling DBT Cloud, hey, please go to your backend. Please figure out what this refu has resolved to and swap it out, right? And essentially, that's exactly what has happened over here. Okay. There's a couple of nuances with the cross-project dependencies. For example, if you can see here, I only have a prod environment. Now, what happens if I kind of create a new staging environment, but I didn't run my job in this environment? Then when you go to your downstream project in the IDE, you may notice that this will give you an error that says model not found in project or something like that. And that's because if you have a staging environment, DBT is going to resolve this ref to that staging environment instead. And that's not something we kind of want to cover here, but basically this gives you a quick overview of the differences between package and cross-project dependencies. For packages, we basically copy paste and chuck it here. And for cross-project references, we are leaving this alone and letting DBT Cloud to kind of figure out itself how to resolve this particular ref. And that's all there is to it. Thank you.